Best Beastmoon forms and how to counter them. Deathwolf. To counter Deathwolf, first you need to be aware that he taunts. His taunting is extremely annoying, and that's the most powerful thing he can do in the first turn. What you do is that either you know you're gonna kill his partner round one because you have you're seeing you're seeing your friend, they're using a big hit, you have a big hit, you can kill their partner, do it. But if you see that your friend doesn't have a big hit or you don't have a big hit, then don't even try to kill his friend because he will most likely taunt, so you might as well try to focus on him. Mythcroc is a form that most people don't have, but it does have a really strong taunt counter, which will do plus 150 trap to whoever is taunted, so the Death Wolf, and 75, but it's gonna do 100, so this is like doing 250 for 1 pip, which is very good. He also has this, which does an extra trap to whoever is taunted, so Mythcroc is good against taunt. Also, another thing to remember with Deathwolf, he can't counter overtimes. He can't counter overtimes. So that means you could do a big overtime on him and you won't, like, it could be potentially good if you time it well, if you detonate it or if you do something with that. So Storm Elf, the one thing that you need to know is that it will stun chain a lot. So any form that is ice and can do a stun block round one can help, plus a shield. Ice Croc is a good form against Storm Elf, really good because it can do big damage and boost because it's ice, and also it can counter the stun. Ice Pig is probably the best form against Storm Elf because this aura is the perfect counter. First of all, it protects you at 75 and gives you a stun block, so you can't be stunned by the Storm Elf. And then you can use your Frozen Ocean spell, which will do 300. And because you have an aura, it will do 300. But because it's Storm, it will do 25. So you can one-shot the Storm Elf while simultaneously protecting yourself from the stun with this card. Live Draconian is one of the strongest forms. One of the things that it does is an Afterlife. So this Afterlife is its best card. It's only 0 pips, it revives it for 150. So what you can do is, if you want to specifically counter this Afterlife, which is very strong, you can either you play a Live Draconian too, so you can counter it with your negative Afterlife that he has. So like this will replace his positive Afterlife with this. Or you could be a Fire Draconian, which can replace the Live Draconian's Afterlife with this one, this negative Afterlife. Another form that can counter the Afterlife is Life Minotaur, but Life Minotaur is one of the worst forms, so unless you're very experienced, I don't recommend using it. I mean, it's possible to win with it, it's just a difficult form. Another thing to know about Life Draconian and Deathcroc, who are both really good healers, and that's like their main power, is that if you see a healer such as Life Draconian and Deathcroc, and you see them on the circle, standing on their circle, it's really good to pull them first. That means run into them first, because then they won't be able to revive their small partner, which will most likely be a storm elf or some kind of rat or a fairy, whatever. So if you pull the Deathcroc first, or you pull the Live Draconian first, they will have a significant big difficulty in healing their partner, and you could target their partner instead of them if they are first, because then they won't be able to revive them easily because of the turn advantage. Other than that, if they're second, sometimes it's good to hit their partner too. But if you see that they can revive them in the same turn that you're killing them, that's like you're facing them, you're first, the Draconian second, the enemy elf is first, and then don't kill their partner, because the Draconian will most likely make sure that their partner is alive in the next turn by healing them preemptively. So you gotta predict that. But most likely, a small form with a healer, such as Live Draconian or Deathcroc, is one of the strongest combos, so you're gonna have a hard time beating that unless you're doing the same thing, or you're pulling the Live Draconian and the Deathcroc first instead of second. Another really powerful form is Life Rat. Life Rat, it's extremely powerful. It also has an afterlife, and the same thing that I said about Live Draconian's afterlife, the same thing counters this one. So like Fire Draconian, another Live Draconian with a negative afterlife or whatever. Another thing is that this afterlife is smaller, so that means a Death Fairy's infection or a Storm Rat's infection will completely counter this, so they won't be able to use it. Compared to a Live Draconian, which is a bigger one, a bigger afterlife. Anyway, the other thing is that it pacifies a lot, so what you do is, it's kind of similar to the taunt rule. Basically, if you can kill the Life Rat round 1, you see that you have a big hit, your friend has a big hit, you try to kill it. But if you are unable to kill it round 1, then you focus someone else, because most likely it's gonna pacify, and when it pacifies, you'll be splitting your damage because you won't be able to continue hitting it. So it's better if you see that you can't kill it round 1, you might as well just not even try to hit it and try to kill someone else, because you know that at least the rat would be busy trying to heal their partner instead of killing you, which would give you a bit more time. It also depends on the position, so like the same thing with healers. If you want to have an advantage against them, pull them first. If they're in the second position, they have a big advantage because they can revive someone in the same turn that they kill them, that you kill them. And another thing is, Life Rat cannot counter dots. So if you are, for example, a Fire Fairy that has this big dot, or this big dot, or you're a Fire Elf that has like this big dot, whatever, you can safely use it on the Life Rat, and it could be a good move because it will do a lot of damage, and the Life Rat could die even after it's pacified, and it won't be able to counter it. So dots do work on Life Rat. If no one on their team can clear dots, it's a good move for them. Another thing, another form, Storm Colossus. So Storm Colossus is the best Colossus. He has a taunt, so the same rule that pacify and taunt and like Death Wolf taunt. Basically, if you see that you are unable to kill their partner round 1, you focus on the one who will taunt. So like if you can kill the person that if you can kill their partner, you kill them. And if you can't, you focus on the Colossus at the start. And another thing is, be aware that he gets extra effects if he's under half health. So try to avoid giving him turns when he can do this by trapping him or blading before you attack, so that he dies and doesn't like stay half dead, because then he gets a lot of extra effects. Another thing, Balance Draconian. Balance Draconian is very similar to Life Rat's counter because he can revive for 75, but if you have infection by a Death Fairy or a Storm Rat, this will get countered. And another thing is, if you are someone who can steal shields, this is very strong because he shields a lot. If you can counter he overtimes, like a Death Fairy. So like Death Fairy counters Balance Draconian a lot. Another form that is very good is Balance Croc. Balance Croc is one of the best forms for being level 1. It gets all of its cards are really good. And the way you counter it is you gotta be aware that if the Balance Croc has a shield on itself and he has 1 pip, he can't do damage because he will have to shift the shield onto you. So you can take advantage of that by knowing that if he's at 1 pip, you can do some defensive move or like safely, know what to do because you know he can't do damage. Another thing is, since he swaps shields once, if you shield twice, he still has a shield on himself, then that protects you because he can no longer steal it, because he would have to swap his own shield. So shielding multiple times instead of just shielding once, if you can afford it, you think you'd survive, it could work. Death Fairy. Death Fairy is one of the best forms. You have to be aware that she has this drain. She can do it. She does it round 1 usually. So you just don't damage her if you can't kill her. And trapping her is good because she won't be able to drain through a trap, and she can't counter traps. And dots also work against her because she can't counter dots. And anything that counters traps, that can also work against her because she uses traps. These are the best Beastmoon forms and how to counter them.